Hello everybody, the Nameless Narcissist here once again. Simple man diagnosed with NPD, giving you the facts of narcissistic personality disorder and things that go on in my head. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, but keep in mind I am no clinician. I can only speak to my own experiences and the studies I read, stuff like that. Anyway, so crying. I hear this a lot, right? Do narcissists cry? It's like, yes, we're humans, we do cry sometimes. But yeah, it is kind of weird. I want to talk about first how I react when other people cry. Nowadays I only really get one. I really only have one response, but I used to have three that I'll talk about. The first one, the one that I still experience nowadays, is like I feel profoundly empty when I see somebody cry. It's like I know there's supposed to be an emotion there, right? But it's just not, and it almost makes me feel kind of monstrous. Where I'm just kind of like, damn, what is wrong with me? I really just do not give a shit. And it even kind of bleeds into annoyance quite a bit. Because I'm just like, oh my God, I have to deal with this now. Like, I care that they're crying to some degree, right? I know that it's not good and it's sad, but it's like, again, it just makes me feel empty, and it makes me feel like it makes me feel empty and like just, again, annoyed. It makes me think I have to fix it. Like, I have to fucking get past this, and I usually don't want to. Well, I want to get past it, right? But I don't want to deal with it. The second one was I thought people were manipulating me. Because I would never cry in front of somebody, at least unless I was like completely out of control and drunk out of my mind, basically, right? I've never, I literally sometimes I try to cry in front of people and I just can't. Like, I'll be crying about something, and then as soon as a person's around, I'll just stop. And it's not even, like, conscious half the time. It's just over. Done. So whenever I see somebody cry in front of me, especially if it's during an argument, I'm like, oh my God, you're either being super dramatic, or you're, like, purposefully crying and sounding upset to guilt me so that I do whatever you want me to. And stupid bitch, I don't feel guilt. I don't say that, obviously, but that's going through my head a lot. I used to manipulate people. I used to say it outright that they were manipulating me. Again, nowadays I know that's not accurate. Allegedly, it still kind of feels like it a lot, but I know that people usually don't manipulate people by crying. That'd be kind of impressive if they could. I don't know, I don't know how to fake cry, so I've never had to do it. I've never wanted to do it. To me, to manipulate somebody by crying feels pathetic. Right? Like, I remember, or like, a good example of some manipulation stuff that I just am not willing to do is like Sociopath Girl, whose name I can't pronounce. She made a video saying how like like she would pretend to like be broke so that people would pay for her food and stuff. I would never do that. I would never go that low, mainly just because I don't want people to think I'm broke. I would rather starve. Like, I would not admit to people that I'm struggling financially to get them to help me. Like, I will literally lie and tell people I'm not struggling just because I don't want them to know that I'm broke, because that's humiliating. That makes me feel, again, pathetic. And then the third one that would happen is like, and this one's like by far the most toxic that I used to do, is that like, I would think somebody hurt me on purpose, right? Because I have a really hard time telling if somebody's hurting me on purpose or hurting me because like on accident and stuff like that. And so if I made them cry, there'd be kind of like a satisfaction about it. I'd be like, now you feel how you made me feel, right? I would act vindictively because I thought they were trying to hurt me, so I would try to hurt them, and it would work. And then they would cry, and I'd be like, ha. And I think that's I mentioned this in my sadism video, and I think that's a big difference between the narcissists, like between sadism and then vindictiveness. Vindictiveness, I think, goes hand in hand with NPD a lot. Sadism, much less so. Like, I'll feel satisfaction if I make somebody feel like I felt because I think that they did it intentionally. I don't get pleasure just out of hurting people, though. There's no pleasure in that. Even when I'm like, sowing chaos, when I used to sow chaos, every now and then, it wasn't because I liked seeing people hurt. It's just I was bored and I wanted to see like either what would happen, or like I just kind of wanted some excitement. Like, again, chaos. I still love chaos, if I'm being honest, because it's not boring. It's something to gossip about. Things are happening. You know what I mean? I hope you guys get you guys might not get what I mean because I'm insane, but I hope it makes sense to some degree. But yeah, and again, it's not sadistic. It's, again, vindictive. I don't get joy out of seeing people hurt. I get satisfaction out of revenge, right? And I think everybody can relate to that to a certain degree, right? Like, you'll see you'll see justice, right? You'll see some dude being a piece of crap, and then you're watching a YouTube video, right? Some dude's being a complete piece of crap, and you watch him get what he deserves, right? Depending on what it is. And I don't know, some dude's robbing a store, and the cashier pulls a gun on that guy, and then the robbery's over, and that guy might get arrested, right? There's satisfaction in watching something like that happen, but you aren't happy that that guy is being hurt. You're happy that he's being brought to justice, that there's something going on that has stopped him that not only has stopped him from doing something bad, but there's also that revenge portion. It's now he has to go to jail. Now he knows what it feels like, right? And it's similar when I used to make people cry like that. I also want to talk about how I cry, because again, as I said earlier in the video, people like to ask a lot, do people do narcissists cry? And it's yeah, we're humans. And I wouldn't even say it's rare. I don't sob. I don't really ever sob, but tears will come down my face. And it's universally when I'm alone, universally. I'll be in my car driving somewhere intending to be vulnerable with somebody, and literally crying about the thing I intend to be vulnerable about. Then once I get there, it's shut off. I can't, there's no way. I can't even cry. I would never want them to see me cry, but I literally cannot get it out. I've tried to cry in front of my girlfriend before, not to manipulate her, but so that to try and be vulnerable, and I just can't. It's similar when I go and try to be vulnerable, and I just feel the shame catch the words in my throat, and I literally can't. It's bizarre. It really is. I literally if I intend to be vulnerable with somebody, I have to text them beforehand and tell them, hey, you have to rip this out of me. You have to make me tell you this thing. And then when I tell them, it's all emotion is now devoid of it because I'm saying it out loud to them. And hell, to a certain degree, it feels fake. Like everything else, it feels fake and like a lie. It's exhausting. But I do cry especially if I'm thinking about my childhood or something. That's the main one that I'll cry about. I have songs specifically to make me cry because I want to feel something sometimes. I'm not sure if it's masochistic and I'm punishing myself, or if it's just I want to feel something. I literally have a playlist of songs that will make me feel and cry and stuff. So I guess it is cathartic to a certain degree, right? I'm so emotionally constipated all the time that letting that out feels good. Honestly, I don't God, I hate people seeing me cry. It makes me look so weak. I hate it. And I don't understand people. It always feels like people are trying to throw a pity party for themselves if they're crying in front of people. When people bring up stuff that hurts them, I'm always oh, you're doing that for attention. You're that's a big one too. You're crying for attention. You're just being dramatic and crying for attention. I hate you. I don't hate any of you. This is just how my head works, especially when I was unaware. Because I know rationally nowadays, but it still always feels like it because I almost can't believe sometimes that people are crying over certain things, right? It's so fucking hard. It's so hard to I'm not saying it's hard to in a way that because it's makes me suffer. Just it's hard to remember that I'm not normal. It's hard to remember that other people don't act for the same reasons I would. Because I guess I'm not even sure if that's projection, because I guess it's just because it's for attention. That's projection. I think. But I would never cry for attention. Maybe I just view the world through a lens of attention. That makes sense. I guess. I don't know. I guess I can because I guess that makes sense. I can only imagine people's motivations if it's through the lens of they're trying to get self-esteem juice. Because why else would anybody act for any other reason? That's black and white thinking, but I hope you know what I mean. Because so much of my life is dedicated to getting self-esteem juice that I can't, some of these things I would never do, I can only assume that they would be doing it for that purpose. Something to think about. Have I ever cried in any of my videos? I think I did a little bit in my childhood video. And that one was interesting because, and that's actually a really good example because I was crying about my childhood before I even started that video. But then at the beginning, I'm not crying at all until I get really deep into it, and the emotions start going, and like I kind of forget that I'm talking to a camera more or less, and that people want to see it. And to this day, because of how pathetic I see crying, every day I think about taking down that video. Maybe not every day, but like very frequently, because I don't want people to see me cry. That's like, I hate what you guys make me do. You guys don't make me do anything. I'm joking. But yeah, I frequently want to take down that video because of how pathetic I see it. It is what it is, though. Yeah, not much else to say there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, take your fucking meds.